Much another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Tuesday, early afternoon. It's just gone past midday. I hope you're enjoying the day. You're looking after yourself. You're hopefully going to enjoy some of that sun, which will be good for everyone here. And yeah, just having a good day. In this video, we're talking a little bit around the boys out on loan, how they've done. There was some good stuff. There was a lot of bad stuff, and there was a lot of players who did next to nothing or nothing at all. So you'll see in a second. And as well as that, we're talking around Newcastle United, not only just beating us at the weekend and causing us those issues, but also causing us issues and potentially a race to sign either Lloyd Kelly or Tosin Adarabioyo. So plenty to get into with both of those, plenty to talk about. Just wanted to say, though, if you're new, give us a subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And with the loan roundup, let me just quickly start with some of the guys that sort of didn't play. So the first one I actually want to start with, ironically, I say it's first one, but first two I want to start with is Ashley and Alfie. Phillips and Devine out at Plymouth. Both unused subs in their 1-0 massive home win against Leicester on Friday night. The Championship title race is fantastic. Leicester, Ipswich and Leeds. But the relegation race, I'd say, is even better. There's about 4 or 5 points separating about 8 different teams. It's ridiculous, right? And, I was talking about Tanganga and Millwall in a bit, but a lot of those teams down there got good results this weekend. And, if you were one of those teams that maybe weren't going to get a good result, you might have been starting to get left behind. Or, if you were one that did get a result, it made sure that you didn't get left behind. You kept up with everyone else. If not, stretching it out a little bit more. And Plymouth getting that win, one, nobody expected. There we go. English is failing me. But secondly, it was a game that they weren't on the front foot. They sat back, they prayed, and it was one of those they got absolutely barraged. But the fact those two lads didn't start or only get any minutes is a bit of a shame. I think Ashley's had a good spell there. I think Alfie struggled a little bit more. Some Plymouth fans aren't as keen on him, but they all quite rate Ashley Phillips. So, yeah, a little bit on that. Just to sort of talk about Ndombele came on the 85th minute in a 4-0 away win against Alinaspor. Ziyech came on, Davison Sanchez came on, Wilfred Zaha came on. It was like the Premier League rejects substitute bench, but yeah. He's not playing. He's not playing, and we got a situation on our hands in the summer. What we're going to do to move him on? So there's that. Right, let's start talking about some guys that did get at least some minutes. I think that's the important thing. I want to start with the main man, Joe Rodon. So unlucky result. They lost 1-0 at home to Blackburn Rovers. Again, this was a huge game for the fact, had Leeds won, that would be massive in the title race. The fact that they lost in a game where they had 19 shots, they had 75% possession against a team that had 3 shots and 25% possession was brutal. You had to feel from a little bit. It's one of those that just the ball was not going to go in. Whatever they tried, it wasn't going to go in. But there was a post that Leeds United put out, which I think this will show to you, if you haven't really been keeping up to date with how Joe Rodon's been doing at Leeds, this will tell you how he's done. And it was from Leeds United's Twitter account. It said that with 47% of the vote, Leeds United fans have voted Joe Rodon their player of the month, which, 450 minutes played, a lot of minutes. He's having a fantastic loan spell, and you've got to give it to him. He went there with a positive mindset. He went there with a mindset of, you do well here, Leeds might get promoted, and then I'm a Premier League player again because they'll probably come and buy me. But if not, Premier League teams will see how I've done and gone, I'll have a bit of that. So it's good for us. It's good for him. Everyone's sort of won in this situation, Leeds included. I think, he'll be sold in the summer, 15 million, which is not outrageous money for a guy who, I think he is a Premier League defender. I do. I'm not going to sit here and say he's a top 6 defender, but, look at some of the defences in this league, and you're sitting there going, Joe Rodon would start for quite a few teams in the Premier League. You think the bottom 3, he'd start in those teams. You think in Forest, I'd probably say he starts at Forest. Everton, maybe not, because I think they quite like Tarkowski, and Brantford is obviously very solid. Brentford, yeah, probably get some minutes at Brentford, yeah. So there's plenty of teams down there you get minutes for, and that's why we have interest from Premier League teams in Joe. So, good man. Right, I want to talk a little bit about Japhet Tanganga down at Millwall, and they got a big win. 3-1 home win, 3-1 home win against Cardiff. Look, they didn't dominate the ball, but they created the chances, and the fact that they got them, that's massive, you know. Jaffet's having a good loan spell. He really is. And it's a guy that if we want to sell him in the summer, there'll be the opportunity, about 10 odd mil. There will be that opportunity. Championship clubs, they'll be knocking on the door. Hell, you wouldn't surprise me if a promoted side came up and was a bit like, Japhet Tanganga, he's probably on the cheap. You know, would Leicester be interested in him? Would let's say if Ipswich came up, Ipswich maybe, you never know. Hell, Leeds, you never know what will happen at Leeds. Maybe they want him, but a good Championship side would definitely want him, and they want him permanently. And 10 million is not outrageous to ask for from Japhet. And look, Millwall turned it around massively. They looked like they were going to be going the way down because they were falling through the floor, and they've sort of bounced back, which is quite nice. Right, I want to talk about Troy Parrott because he had a hell of a game. 4-0 home win to FC Volendam, sorry. He scored, he assisted, and he got sent off. It was, really weird one. It's his first game back in a little while, but goal and assist and a sending off. That's not bad. That's not a bad effort. No, obviously, sending off's not great. I didn't see what the sending off was for, so I can't comment on it. But a goal and assist, hey, good on him. He's having a great loan spell. Forget the red card. A great loan spell. And this is why the big boys in the Eredivisie want him. And if we do sell him, we have the option to extend for another year. If we do sell him, there's money to be made here. Moving on to Sergio Reguilon out of Brentford. A 2-0 home win against Sheffield United. And look, they're on a bit of a spell here at the moment, Brentford, where they picked up some points recently. I think they're 7 points clear of the relegation zone, which I think they've got 5 or 6 games left. That's a lot of points for a team to have to make up and for you to continue to drop points. And look, big draw last time out against Villa away to Villa, which, by the way, isn't that typical Premier League? Villa draw by throwing away a 2-0 goal lead and then go to the Emirates and beat Arsenal 2-0. That's just welcome to the Premier League, eh? But for Brentford, yeah, he played the full 90 minutes. Another clean sheet, which as a defender, you never grumble at. And yeah, they're climbing up the league. I think they're 15th at the moment. Like I said, 7 points clear. Brentford will be here next season. And I like Brentford. I do. I do like Brentford. And I don't care if that offends anyone. Right, talking about Luka Vuskovic out at something's on my screen. Radomiak Radom, 3-2 loss away to LKS Lodz. What a name. Probably said that wrong, so if I have, you know what to do. Correct me down below. Look, he's having a good loan spell for Radomiak. He's kind of turned into one of their leaders, and at the age of, 17? Bonkers, isn't it? He'll probably get moved to a decent league next season for some good time for probably loan. I would expect. I'd expect Spurs to try and do something like that. If they don't, whatever. Keep getting him 90 minutes. There's nothing going to harm anyone for that. Doncaster Rovers, and I want to talk about this one in a bit more detail because I've kind of been going, Matthew Craig's doing really well at Doncaster Rovers. Yeah, Doncaster Rovers are doing bloody well themselves. A 4-0 home win, right? At home to Accrington Stanley. But I looked at this through BBC Sport, and they said with this win, it extends their best winning run for 77 years and move within a point of League Two's top 7, despite facing relegation danger at the start of February. So in the space of 2 months, they've rocketed through the league, and the fact they're 1 point off the playoffs, that is bonkers. So fair dinkum. And look, Matthew Craig is playing a big part in midfield for that. So, hey, lovely jubbling. He might get a loan spell to a team in League One next year. Hey, that doesn't hurt a soul. That does not hurt a soul. Right, let me finish off with Jed Spence out at Genoa. 61st minute sub. He got booked 2 minutes later, which was quite impressive. Let me just bring up Genoa and how they did. Sorry, apologies. A 1-1 away draw to Fiorentina. By the way, I know a few of you aren't keen on it, but Albert Gudmundsson scored a penalty in that game, and I couldn't tell you what a penalty is nowadays. It's Chelsea have all these penalties, and I was curious. I said, what the hell is that? I haven't seen one of them all season, basically. So what's that? Is that a free kick inside the box? But no one's allowed to be in the way. There's no wall. And he's shooting from it? But yeah, so 1-1 draw. Talking about Josh Keeley, 2-0 away win to Halifax Town. That secures their spot in the playoffs for the conference. They face, it hasn't been decided yet through, obviously there's still games to be played. They'll face someone, which I'll probably bring up in another video soon to come. And then last but not least, Lucas Burval was a 2-0 win at home to Sirius, was a 77th minute sub. So happy days. Lucas is killing it. He's just so much better than everyone in that league. It's scary, you know. So there is that. Right, let me talk. I'm Kevin De Bruyne. Let me talk. Let me start with this one from HITC Football. It's exclusive, and it says that HITC understands Lloyd Kelly has turned down Bournemouth's latest offer of a new deal, which would have made him one of the highest, one of the top earners at Bournemouth. Newcastle firm favourites to land him in the summer. On top of that, Newcastle are in a race with many clubs to sign Tosin Adarabioyo and Lloyd Kelly from Ekram Canor. So look, it doesn't shock me. They're free. And this is the thing with these guys. They're good Premier League players. They really are. And Newcastle need defenders. You know, Lascelles is out, long-term injury. Botman's out, long-term injury. You know, Dan Pern plays a little bit of left back. You know, Shaw and all those lads. You know, they do pick up a few knocks here and there, which you have to question the medical team. Like, why are they picking up so many knocks? You know, there's a lot of teams in the Premier League that probably need to do some deep diving into their medical team. Spurs being one of them. Why are we getting these many injuries when you're looking at, you know, an Arsenal and think, well, where's their injuries? And they'll go, we've had Timber out injured all year. Well, that was a freak injury. We've had Tomiyasu. All right, I'll give you that one. That's one player. And let's be honest, Ben White's the starting right back. So, you know, with these other teams like Newcastle and Man United and Brighton and Spurs and Chelsea, you know, we just shed injuries. I mean, even Liverpool this season have had injuries and things like that. Long-term ones, you know, Trent's been out a while. Matip's been out all season. Robertson's missed a lot of time. Salah went away, obviously, for a few months to African Cup of Nations. You know, so it is something to question. But look, they want one of these two guys. And, you know, I think it'll be between Spurs and Newcastle. Will probably come up. Well, I think it'll be one of those two that will get one of them, right? Unless Newcastle... I mean, I could see maybe Liverpool going for a Adarabioyo because they might let Matip go. And there he goes, and there's your replacement in for a free. But obviously, with a new manager, you know, the new manager needs to make a decision. How long is it going to be? So I see maybe Newcastle and Spurs sort of kind of together going, well, I want him, and you want him? Great. Well, let's leave each other alone. You have him, we'll have him. And that's what Spurs have done in the past with other clubs, you know. So, yes, so plenty there. Just want to say, guys, if drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Obviously, hit me in the comment section your thoughts, feelings about the boys out on loan. Obviously, Newcastle's interest in Lloyd Kelly and Tosin Adarabioyo. One of the thoughts, feelings about all those. Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, the end of the video, and I will see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.